If you've ever wondered whether real estate can replace a real job income after life blows everything up, this interview is for you. Today, I'm talking with an agent who spent years in an analytical mind lab, but shifted to real estate when her life took an unexpected turn. You'll hear how she rebuilt from zero and built a business on cold calling and her sphere, but then leveled up her game by adding social media. If you're starting over, short on time, or questioning what's possible, Meg's story will give you a very real roadmap. So let's get to it. I'm Karrie Hill, lawyer turned realtor, EXP certified mentor. And if you get any value from this interview that you're about to see, please hit subscribe and the bell notification so you don't miss the next top agent story that will save you years of trial and error. Okay, today I've got Meagan Estees, your Arizona homegirl out of Tucson. Listen to her story and she'll prove that you can keep improving your business and your life while also being a mom of 2 small children, a wife, a daughter, and a friend. Okay, I am super happy to have Meg here today to interview. She is in Tucson, Arizona, and has so many great things to share. So I'm just gonna get right into it. Is that okay with you, Meg?
Yeah, thanks for having me.
Great. So happy. So first of all, I actually do like to ask people what their general background was, that, you know, what happened in your life that led you to real estate? Why did you make that choice?
I don't know.
I love that.
I don't. So I actually, I had a 10-year career before I got into real estate. I worked in an analytical mine and we used to analyze mining samples. I do not have a college degree, but I was lucky enough to have a friend that got me into this business. And I started out like bottom of the totem pole, lab tech. And I mean, it's not like a medical lab. Like, it is dirty. You're covered. I mean, we work with dirt, core samples, dirty, covered in, filth, and then like working with like some crazy chemicals and whatnot. It was a really cool job. I loved it. But my boss was amazing, and he ended up like training me, and I ended up working into this like higher up position. Like I said, I was there for almost 10 years. And while working there, like I was single, not married, no kids. So I worked 60, 70 hours a week. I mean, I was making good money. I was young. I had all the things. And then I met my husband. We decided to start a family. And 4 months after coming back from having my daughter, let me back up. When I came back from maternity leave, there had been a management change. And so 4 months after having my daughter, I was let go. And there's a lot to that, which I'm not going to dive into, but I've never been fired from anywhere. I've always been the type of person who I want, like, without sounding like I'm boosting my own ego, I've always been good at what I do, only because I go full throttle in anything that I'm going to do. I mean, if you looked at any employee review before that, it was 5-star, it like never any issues. And so I'm like, what am I going to do to make that kind of money again? Because they had also made me sign a non-compete before, like with the new management change, which they said that they wouldn't really hold to, but at another lab that does the same thing, they either weren't going to give me the same pay because I didn't have a chemical engineering degree, or B, they weren't going to start me in a position like that. Because the position that I left, the person before me had a bachelor's in chemical engineering. So, I mean, I was just devastated. So I am, I've got this new baby. I'm talking to my husband. What do I do? So it was more like, what kind of certification or training that can I get that's fast and cheap and can make me lots of money potentially? And so that led me into real estate. And that's
great. right. Okay. That is a very interesting story about getting here. Of course, you were working with dirt, so that's like the land, right?
Yes, yes.
So you were partway there.
Yes, yes. I mean, my old career definitely was very data driven analytical, which I do feel like helps me with what I do. So I did carry some of that over. And like I said, I loved my job. Like I thought it was a cool job, and I got paid really well considering like where I live. And I mean, it was amazing. And so I thought I was going to be there forever. So I had no idea what to do. But yeah, that's what led me into real estate. I got really lucky with, my best friend was in real estate, and she helped kind of mentor me and really guided me. And she's one of the best. I just love her. And
that's great.
Yeah.
So did you work in the same brokerage with her?
When I first started, yeah. So I joined a team that she was on. She was actually the transaction coordinator for the team, and basically like ran the whole thing. Like she was just the backbone to our team. And then from there she graduated into being a full-blown agent. Now she's got her own thing going with her husband, and they do really well. But yeah, I mean, we still talk and we bounce off of each other, and she was a big support for me. So I was very lucky to have that.
Absolutely.
And yeah, so I mean, it worked out because almost 10 years later, here I am, part of our group. And I mean, I wouldn't change a thing. I love real estate. I love the flexibility it's given me with my family. The money is really good. So I don't really have any big complaints.
So yeah, definitely. I know you're very successful, and so that's all worked out for you, which is excellent. Yeah. Going back to when you did just go into real estate, I assume then that you went in full throttle as a full-time agent. And I'm wondering what you did for leads back then. What was your main source?
So I actually, before I did sales, so for the team, I did do just admin work for a while. I was, I think I did that for about 6 months because I wanted to learn the back end of a transaction first. I didn't want to just go at it blindly. And so I did have an understanding of like timelines and how the contract worked and our inspection period, all that kind of stuff. And then from there, I mean, the team did generate leads for us. So I did do a lot of cold calling. Open houses were a big thing for the team. And then I very much leaned into my sphere. I'm a Tucson local, so it made sense. I've had lots of jobs. I've known lots of people. So my first year in real estate, I did 17 deals, which, as a brand new agent, especially huge. Before social media was a thing, like that was a big deal. So, yeah, that's kind of like how I got started with the team and doing lead gen. So a lot of cold calling too, which I still do today.
Oh, that's great. So, I mean, I know you're big in YouTube as well. So you already had a system of getting leads. What made the change? Why did you shift? What brought you there?
So I thrive in chaos. The more wild my world is, the more I'm, I don't know, productive or just, it's more like things like I have to get it done. And so I thrive in a busy atmosphere. But, so joining EXP and the Wolf Pack and learning about YouTube and social media, for me, it wasn't so much like I want to do it as a lead generation specific. What really stuck with me was Mike said, we're going into this time where when you pick up a phone to call somebody or you're door knocking or even open houses, it's a one-to-one conversation. And so on social media and YouTube, it's a one-to-many conversation. You have the conversation one time and you are touching many people. And that really stuck with me. And I've also realized, like, in the age of technology, even me, if I'm Googling a service, I want to see their social media. I want to see how they do business. I want to see what they're like. And to be honest, like, even as somebody who doesn't necessarily just rely on the internet anymore for my business, I will go with somebody if they're posting more, just because I can see the kind of business they're running, or because, I don't feel like it's based on reviews anymore. I used to go to Google and I would read the reviews, 187 reviews versus 5. Yeah, and I don't think that's fair because some people are just getting into the business. So if you have somebody who's just getting into the business and they're driven and they're on social media consistently versus somebody who's been in the business for 5, 10, 15 years and they almost refuse to do it, to me, that it's like, I'm changing with the times. So I want to work with a business that's changing with the times.
Yeah, that's so true. I mean, everything you just said, that's absolutely where it is now. And if you don't get with this program of how the world is changing, you're eventually going to be left behind, even if you don't like it, it's time to move.
Right.
So were you doing YouTube before you came to EXP, or did you start doing that after EXP?
I started doing YouTube after, and I was very inconsistent with it. I would start it, I would do it for a few months, and then I would kind of fall off. And then I would start it again, and then it would fall off. And then we would do these challenges, and then I would fall off. So really this last year, actually November of last year is when I consistently started posting on the short form platforms, Instagram, TikTok, Facebook, and LinkedIn. And then for the past, I think since May is when I rolled back out, I should say, my first YouTube channel. Cause like I said, I had content on there, but it had been a while. So I've been consistently posting since May. And then I just recently started the second channel in September, which has been
congratulations.
Awesome. Thank you. Thank you.
It's an effort.
To you as well, my friend.
It's 2 channels.
Yes.
So of all of those, since you're doing so much on short form as well as the long form, have you noticed like what type of content has brought you more leads or more engagement?
I honestly, I don't have it pinpointed necessarily the type of content, because I like to provide the real estate informational type of content so people have that, right? And they can always go back to and refer to it. But I feel like, posting my personal life on there as well is just as beneficial, because then people see I'm not just a realtor, I'm a mom and I'm a wife and I'm a woman, and I, do live in chaos, and we have all of these things going on. And I think it's really important that people understand when you're making content, you're not just a content creator, or in any business, right? Like, you're not just a nurse, you're not just a mechanic, you're people outside of your job. And so I think when a consumer has that understanding, that it's a little easier to do business with somebody who might be like you. I talk to a lot of moms, I talk to a lot of wives, I talk to a lot of women, I talk to a lot of families. So I think I think just having kind of a mix but balanced is really what helps. I mean, it helps me stay consistent in front of my sphere, which has been extremely beneficial because they see my content and then they, I don't have to reach out to them every 90 days with, don't forget to, check on your furnace and change your filters. And, so I do feel like, just posting consistently is what I don't think you really have to post something specific, at least in my own experience. I think when somebody actually posts too much about just businessy stuff, it gets a little boring. Yeah. So I like to keep it lively.
For sure. And people definitely want to know who you are in the rest of your life. That's definitely resonates with the people who are watching. I don't do enough of that. I need to do more of it, but I know exactly what you mean, but you're doing a much better job. So going back to like the life of chaos, I actually thrive on chaos as well. Although I went to law school, probably mainly because I wanted to make order out of chaos. And as time has gone on, I realized that I really do just need chaos. It's just who I am. I need to be doing lots of things. I tend to do lots of tasks basically at the same time, rotating them. But here's my question for you. Given the chaos, how is it that you manage your time? I mean, what does your day look like? How do you know what you're going to be doing so that you're not stuck going down the wrong path?
I live by my calendar. If I tell people all the time, if it's not my calendar, it doesn't exist. And not even because like something as simple as I need to, a task. I need to remember to mail something out. If I do not have it in my calendar, I will not remember to do it. And so my calendar is number one. And then I do use AI a lot to help me organize it and schedule and, maximize my time to the fullest, because I also don't get to work a full 8-hour day. I drive carpool. I pick my kids up from school almost every single day, and then they're home with me. And like some real estate related tasks are very hard to do when you have children at home. My kids are little too, so they don't fully understand not to bother mom right now. So there are certain tasks that I revolve around them, which is another reason why I did get into real estate, because I didn't want to always be the mom that was at work. I just wanted to be present. But I've realized with my calendar, organizing it and making sure that I have everything in there, it absolutely maximizes my time. And then that lets me block off time for my family. And so there is that balance. And I'm not, again, like the mom that's always at work. I might be working while I'm at my kids' practice, but I'm there, I'm present.
Yeah.
So I also really feel like I figure that kind of stuff out. Like it's the chaos of it, right? Like two things at once. My kid is at practice, I'm there. Parents are required to be there most times now, but like it's nice because I can sit and just work and like not have to worry anything. And it's also a great way to get business.
Yes. That is the upside, because there's other parents there too, right?
And it brings up topic. Oh, what are you doing? I'm working. Oh, what do you do? Well, let me just tell you.
Right. Yeah, that's totally perfect.
Yeah.
So what is the calendar system that you're using? Are you just using something like Outlook, or what is your calendar?
I use Google Calendar. It works out really well for me. We've had Louis Gold, who's in our group. Years ago he did this. I don't remember if the whole thing was just based on calendar, but it was organization as a whole. And once he showed how you can color code your calendar to colors you actually like, I was sold. I can make my calendar aesthetically pleasing on top of being organized. Yes, please sign me up. So that's when I started that. And what I love about Google Calendar is you can integrate it with almost every single app or system that you have. So it's been very beneficial.
Definitely a useful system, and all those other Google Docs and everything else, for sure. So if you were starting in the business now, I mean, you've cut across a lot of different ways of getting leads and doing business. And I love that you started with the back end. As an attorney, I was very consistent on my contracts at first. I wanted to do every bit of it by myself before I hired a TC for basically the same thing. But I wish I had done it like you. I wish I had really started there without being the one who was doing, the whole deal at the same time. That would have been ideal. But if you were starting now with all the vast knowledge that you have and the different ways that you've gotten leads, what would you do first about going out and getting leads? Where would you start now?
Oh, that's a tough one, because I actually have 3 agents that I've been training, brand new, like straight out of school, straight into EXP, and they're all of different age. And so what suits one doesn't suit the other. So one of my younger guys, like who I thought would love social media, he's actually very much been into cold calling. So it's a personality and what you really want to do. My big thing is be consistent and know that it's a numbers game. So whatever you decide to do, whether it's going to be open houses, door knocking, cold calling, social media, pay if you want to pay for leads, whatever the case, you have to know that it's not going to be instant. And I think that's like the hardest part, because some people do get into this struggling. I absolutely got into it struggling. That is part of the reason why I also joined a team. So there are benefits to that, because they do provide you the leads, but you still have to work for that lead. No matter who provides it, you still have to call that lead a certain amount of times before it's actually going to turn into a deal. But I'm very data driven. So I understand that. A lot of people don't understand that, and it is difficult. But I think that it's very important for somebody who is getting into real estate. Like, I'm big on the DISC assessment, learning what kind of personality you have, because I do think that's going to determine what kind of lead source you're going to lean into and make it to where you don't hate your life for the first year,
Right.
So, I mean, even where I'm at, like, our market is slower and open houses are really slow right now. And so I have agents who will hit me up and I'll tell them, like, I would love for you to do this one. I know it might be slow, but if you're into content, this is a great place to do content. Like, it's a beautiful home. It has a beautiful backyard, blah, blah, blah. So I think it just kind of depends on what they're really into and what they're willing to do. Like, cold calling is daunting. I mean, I still cold call and I don't love it. I know it works though. For me, I'm very different than a lot of people. I don't chase dreams. I chase money. Like, I never knew what I wanted to be when I grew up. I just knew I wanted to make money. So, I know for a fact that cold calling works. I know, typically out of 100 no's, you're going to get a yes. And so that's the data that I love. But that's not for everybody. And that's a really hard thing to do. It is very hard.
Absolutely.
So, I really, I think open houses can be extremely beneficial right now, because typically people who are out looking at an open house, unless they're a nosy neighbor, they're probably in the market to buy within the next 3 to 6 months. So again, it might not be a right now thing, but you can definitely nurture them, and it can turn into business. And what I am realizing too, once you do this for a while, now I'm at the end of my 8-year mark. I'm almost 10 years in, but now it's repeat business. So people that I helped buy when I first got into my career, they're ready to sell and buy again. And so I think, as long as you know that it will turn into something, then just go for it. Because whatever you decide to do and you're consistent at it is what's going to make you business.
Yes. So going into the little open houses that you were talking about, do you have like a favorite tip? I mean, like a favorite thing that you do at an open house that you like a lot?
Yeah. My second transaction ever came from an open house. My first was from my sphere. My second was from an open house. This couple walked in and they kind of liked the house. But as I was talking to them more, I offered them MLS flyers to 3 other homes that were available in the neighborhood. And they said, okay, well, when your open house is done, do you mind showing them to us? And I said, sure, no problem. And long story short, they ended up going with me over another agent. My second deal ever, just because of the value that I provided. So I really recommend having an idea of what's around you, because people are out. If they're at an open house, they're most likely out looking for other open houses. The weather's nice. They want to just be out. It's not like showings where you're just like boom, 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 boom. So offer a few other homes in the market that they might be interested in looking at. I do a price, a variation. So 1 or 2 that are lower than the house I'm in and 1 or 2 that are higher. And then I also like to have my market stats and my HOA information. So anything that can pertain to the home and to the neighborhood, I think is extremely beneficial.
Yeah, that's smart. And it just provides value to them and a reason to talk to them too.
Yeah. Yep.
Beyond just the house itself. Yeah, that's excellent. Thank you.
And and beyond like catching, or trying to, hey, can you fill this in? Can you sign this? Can you,
so awkward.
Like, yeah. And so now I'm like, well, if you guys don't like this one, there might be a couple others. Here you go. And then they're more willing to kind of talk to you and realize you're not just there to be a salesperson.
Yeah. And it's also pretty nice that I bet some of those ones that you had to show them weren't open, that you had to actually go and unlock the door. Right. So now it's convenient to them to see the other things on the same day where they can take it all in at once.
Right.
Yeah. That's really good. All right. I'm going to flip subjects here again. Okay. What was it that brought you to EXP from your last situation? Why did you make this shift?
So I have a cousin who was doing real estate in San Diego, and it was so 2020, COVID was happening. I was actually living in Phoenix at the time, and there was that mass exodus of like West Coast coming to us, you know. So we were looking at like, how can we market to look like a team without the logistics of a state-by-state team, because it's a lot. Like, you have to worry about legalities, and you know, every state is different, all the rules are different, and EXP made that seamless for us. So that's actually what initially started that. And then we started looking into sponsors and groups, and we really liked what the Wolf Pack was about. The systems I'm so much about innovation, it's ridiculous. I love always ever changing. And so, you know, with YouTube training and social media training, AI wasn't out yet. So that hasn't happened yet. With that, and I mean, when I joined, we were a very, very small group. I think there was like 200 agents at max. And so it was still very like tight community feel. And I didn't have a problem that it was a cloud-based brokerage. I was already working from home because it was COVID. And so it was just the right fit. And EXP is my fourth brokerage. I'd been from everything. So my first two were kind of like the same as like a Keller Williams type thing. And my third one was a boutique brokerage up in Phoenix. And then I moved to EXP. I've been here longer than any of them. I found my home with the Wolf Pack and our community. So it just all worked out really well. And I'm so happy I made that choice, because it's been extremely beneficial to not just my business, but to my life as a whole.
Yeah, I mean, I have the exact same situation there in terms of this has been an amazing choice for me. And obviously, I've got to know you not just from this call, but over the years, because we are in the same community. Yeah. And particularly the women's call that we get to have on Wednesdays. And it's such a small, more intimate group of us that get to know each other a bit before the bigger annual events that we have for EXP. But anyway, hey, I just want to thank you so much for being on the channel today and sharing all the value and the tips that you gave and your story. Thank you so much for coming on.
Anytime. Thank you for having me. And I'm so excited to see it. I can't wait, because I know that it's going to be good, and you've done amazing, and I'm so excited. So thank you so much for having me.
And I'm going to have all your links in my description so that people can get a hold of you. And I always like to tell people that, you know, the great thing about EXP is we now have this co-sponsorship thing too, and that people could choose one of us as a sponsor and one a co-sponsor and get both of us and in one package, and we have the same upline. So the same value that's above us, we both have. So it just makes it so that people have more choices to meet whatever it is that they need.
Yes, and it's wonderful. It's a great a great value when joining EXP if it's needed, for sure.
Really is. We know that. Okay, thank you so much, Meg. Have a great day. And if you'd like to work with Meagan or Smart Agent Alliance or both of us, all the links are in the description. And if you're serious about leveling up and you want my direct help for free, hit the links below, join our next webinar, and see why so many top agents are quietly joining our team saying, I wish I'd found this sooner. Then book a quick call, and we'll map out exactly how to change your life without the burnout or the sponsor regret. If you'd like to learn anything more about eXp Realty or our sponsor team, there should be videos showing right now somewhere above my head. Thank you for watching, and have a great day.